Billy Joe Saunders versus Chris Eubank Jr. pre-fight press conference review. It's very rare I've done a press conference review, but this is necessary because I feel there's so many points in this press conference that were mentioned that again, I am very concerned for Billy Joe Saunders. I really am. I am a fan of Billy Joe Saunders. I think he's a very talented fighter, but I think he said some things once again that have done himself no favors whatsoever. I mean, he's hugely confident that he's going to beat Chris Eubank Jr. So confident that he said that he would. First of all, he said that if he didn't stop Eubank Jr. within 5 rounds, his dad would beat him with a chain. Remember, he said that. He also turned around and said that if he didn't beat Chris Eubank Jr., that he would retire. Now, it's the first time that Jimmy Tibbs has heard this, and I don't know what Frank Warren's opinion of this is, but what? Saunders is what, 24, 25? So that's pretty young as a professional boxer. So what? You're going to throw your whole career away, everything you've done, everything you've dreamed of doing as a boxer, and you're going to retire because of one man. Now, there was an expression somebody said. They say, as a boxer, if you're using the R word, the word retirement, before entering a fight, that means that your mind is not 100% in your job and you've already got one foot out the door. Now, that's all well and good if you're a fighter coming to the end of your career, but Billy Joe Saunders is like a baby, in terms of youth for boxing. You know, he's not even in the guy's not even in his 30s yet. He's not even hit 30, and he's talking about retirement. Now, I don't know if this is him just being passionate, him being immature, or him being irrational. Because if that's the way he's thinking, there's an expression. The way you speak is the way you think. And if he already has said he would retire, and he hasn't said that conversation with his coach, and his coach said, well, it's the first time I've heard about it. One of two things. Either Jimmy Tibbs himself has just blown it off and said, it's just Saunders talking breeze, or he's actually, the conversation hasn't been had. But as a fighter, you don't want to be talking about retirement. You want to talk about winning a fight. Retirement shouldn't even be coming into your mind. But that is your mindset. If you're talking like that, and you're talking retirement, and you're the champion, and you're talking about retirement, you say, look, I don't see myself getting beat. I can't see myself getting beat by him. Fine, leave it as that. But don't put it on the back. Don't put it to the point where it's gonna hamper your own performance. So Billy Joe Saunders is gonna go into a fight, the first fight of his career. Remember, from what I know, that he's been so vocal about the fact that if he loses this fight, he's gonna retire. So now, if things are not going well in the fight, say he gets clouted with a right hand in the first round and gets dropped, or gets wobbled and goes back to the corner, then he feels if Eubank gets a round ahead of him or does something, to make a mark in a round, he thinks he's got to win the fight. All the things that he may have done up to that point to make him a winner, he may lose the game plan, and he may go out there and go and have a war. Now, I don't think Billy Joe Saunders is the strongest of middleweights. I never have done. I think he's always been very skilled, very good technical boxer. But he's not a devastating one-punch knockout artist, but he's got very good skills. Now, why would you want to get yourself involved in a tear-up and a war against a guy who could be much physically stronger than you? He might not be a better boxer than you. He might not be a better boxer technically than you. He might not be. That's yet to be seen. But why do you want to give somebody even the remote opportunity to allow their strengths to become your weakness? Do you get what I'm saying here? What I'm seeing here is that Billy Joe Saunders is blatantly opening doors for Chris Eubank Jr. to walk into. And they're not traps either. There is nothing logical about talking about retirement to your opponent. To me, that sounds like that's weakness there. The fact that you'd even use the word retirement to come out of your tongue, come out of your mouth, just, you're not going to get beat. You don't even think about it. The fact that you think about retirement in your mind and you understand what the word retirement means, then also in your mind you're thinking about retirement plans. Those things can come into your mind. You, as a boxer, you don't want them sort of things in your mind. You want to be thinking about, I'm going to beat this guy and that's it. But if I might retire. You know what? If I lose this fight, I'm going to retire. Why would you say something like that? What sort of message are you sending across to the fans? What are you trying to tell the fans here? And the contradictions. If like I said before, if Chris Eubank Jr. is as poor a fighter and as shit a fighter as in Saunders terms said, if he's so bad a fighter, why have you gone over to Marbella? Why are you in the best shape of your life? I don't get it. It's another contradiction there, and experience. Let's look this experience thing out a second, right? And let's just wipe out the amateur career a second, right? This is the pro game we're talking about, and experience is only effective if you're in a fight. If you get knocked out in the first round, it's a new experience. If you get dropped in a fight and you've never been dropped before, it's a new experience. So all these people talk about, well, Saunders has got more experience. That experience can only count if he uses it on the night. There's no point having experience in the last 20 fights you've had, or 20 fights you've had, and then you go in there in the 21st fight and then you box completely different to what you've boxed anyhow in your career. And instead of being a slick boxer, you try to have a war, tear up, to prove it to the fans. And with the sort of irrational thinking that Saunders has already got, talking about retirement, and then contradicting himself and saying, well, this is the best training camp he's ever had, but he doesn't. Why does he need the best training camp he ever had if he's fighting someone that's shit? There's always the possibility so a man thinks and speaks, say, will act. My concern is on the night, will Saunders do a whole heap of things that he shouldn't normally be doing? He's talking about he's going to put a load of pressure on Chris Eubank Jr. But is that the slickster that Billy Joe Saunders is? No. Billy Joe Saunders is about hitting and not get hit. Billy Joe Saunders is about slick boxing skills, counter punching, move from side to side, in and out, lateral movement. That's what Billy Joe Saunders is best at. He's not best at coming and having a brawl. In fact, when he has a brawl, there are times people have backed him to the ropes and out hustled him at times on the ropes. So bear this in mind. Billy Joe Saunders, to win this fight, has to box to a game plan. And I don't think he's physically as strong as Chris Eubank Jr. I think Chris Eubank is more of a specimen of fighter. He's more a physical fighter. He's looking to take you out. And another thing, if you look at Billy Joe Saunders when he fights, and his guard here, I can see in that fight when he decides to come forward and have a brawl and tuck up, I see the uppercut being shot straight through the middle. I keep saying this. If Billy Joe Saunders decides to bring the fight to Chris Eubank Jr., it could be the worst thing I think he'll do. But I guess the idea would be, don't give him space, don't give him time to think, blah, 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 blah. But how do you know that that is actually going to work? And if it doesn't work, what do you do? What happens if you come out in the first round and try and charge your man, like your tactic is, and you get stunned, you get hurt, and you get put down? Then what happens? You've got to get on the back foot. And then you have to start running. Eubank has made it quite clear. Eubank says, I don't need anybody to tell me what I'm going to do. I know how I'm going to do with you. I know how I'm going to deal with you. I know how I'm going to deal with you. And Saunders says, yeah, I know I'm going to deal with you as well. And then Jimmy Tibbs steps in and says, no. He will box to orders. Now, those orders, let's think about these orders a second. Those orders, as memory serves me, 4 or 5 times Jimmy Tibbs has come up against Chris Eubank's trainer, and 5 times or 4 times he's failed. Is that because the quality of fighters or the game plan? Billy Joe Saunders has a lot of faith in Jimmy Tibbs. Now, you put the head-to-head here with the trainers, you've got to say Ronnie Davis is ahead. So that's another thing to throw into the equation. And another thing, gone to Marbella for the first time. Is there any possibility that Billy Joe Saunders could have overtrained for this fight? I don't like this retirement talk. I really don't like it. I really don't like it. And this willingness to always have a bet. Now, if Billy Joe Saunders does lose this fight, what happens? If Eubank loses the fight, well, okay, he's gone and fought probably one of the best middleweights in the country. But if Billy Joe Saunders loses, it's not going to be good. It really is not going to be good. Where is he going to put his head? Where is he going to put his head? This is going to be an interesting fight, I'm telling you. But I'll just stay with this. So a man speaks, so a man thinks, and so a man will act, regardless of what his trainer tells him. When the red mist comes down, then he decides to have a tear up. All that experience that he may have, and he's won in all them fights, the British, Commonwealth and European Championships, it may go to waste. Those are my thoughts at the moment. Love to know what you guys are thinking out there. Great press conference, and this is going to be a great fight, for sure. And yeah. Well, those are my thoughts. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, leave your comments. I'm out.